everybody. Lance Russell sitting right along the ringside. Without my old buddy Dave Brown, he's off today, so we're going to be battling them all by ourselves. And, man, what a show we've got lined up. We've got the Beauty and the Beast here. I know that'll thrill you right to the doggone bone. We've got Tracy Smothers and Jeff Jarrett will be involved in a big tag match. The big one, Sid Vicious, will also be here in a single match. And listen to our final expiration of time bout that we're going to have today. It will involve Don Bass going against the world heavyweight champion, Jerry the King Lawler, in a non-title bout. All of that and much, much more coming up on this week of Championship Wrestling. Be back in a moment. Today's Championship Wrestling program with kind of a very special piece of footage. This had the impact because it marked what had to be considered to be an upset, no question about it. It involved Jerry the King Lawler and Dutch Mantell in a battle, and, well, let the picture speak louder than the words. Here it is. Tells the referee to back up. Lawler spits at Dutch. Takes him over to the corner, slams his head on the top turnbuckle. Crowd counting along as Lawler, with 10 times, slammed the head into the top turnbuckle, and Dutch is wobbly, Roger. Lawler thrown into the referee again. Third time. That's the third time. Jerry Calhoun has really gotten the blood. Uh-oh, look at Mantell. He's got that whip. Look out, Lawler. Mantell grabs Lawler by the hair of the head. Let's see what he's going to do. Lawler now pushed him to the ropes. He misses with a clothesline with a whip. Lawler pounds him. Lawler's got the bull whip. Calhoun holding Lawler back. Calhoun still got Lawler, but Mantell's reaching. Mantell's got a chain. The Dutchman's got a chain. And he cold calls Lawler with a chain. Count of 1, 2, 3. He's beat Lawler. 1, 2, 3 in 10 minutes, 32 seconds. The world heavyweight champ is laying down on the mat. And Dutch Mantell has picked up the non-title victory. By the way, and I have been negligent in not identifying my buddy that works with me at the Coliseums and all is Roger Webb, and he was on that commentary. Here coming out right now is the man who still has the world heavyweight title, the King, Jerry Lawler, who ended up in a situation that I'm certain kind of took him by surprise when he met Dutch.
Well, I guess you're right, Lance. It really shouldn't have, because, you know, Dutch Mantell is the first guy to ever come. I mean, he'll remind you every time he comes out and gets in front of a camera that he didn't get the nickname Dirty Dutch Mantell by kissing babies. I should have known, you know, I don't know what to call it, a mental lapse or whatever. You know, he stood out here last week and he said that I used a chain to win the title. He said that I used a chain every time I ever got a win over him. And, you know, I just should have known, and I should have expected that from Dutch Mantell. But call it a mental lapse, call it whatever you want to. Dutch Mantell did get the win. And
Jerry, that's the first time since May that you have been beaten in a match in there. That had to be kind of an eye-opener.
Well, I mean, it's the first time I actually got pinned. As I've, you know, I've had a couple of disqualifications, that sort of thing, but actually getting pinned 1, 2, 3, yeah, it is an eye-opener, because I guess, you know, what happens when, and maybe rightfully so, when when you get a win streak going and you pick up 2 titles like this, I guess sort of sometimes you get to thinking you're kind of invincible or something like that. Well, you're right. It was an eye-opener, and it brings you kind of back down to earth. And what it also did was it opened the eyes of the championship committee, along with the help of Dutch Mantell, I might add, because he got right on the telephone, telegrams, letters, all sorts of things.
Reminding him he had beat you for the
Exactly
Southern
right.
title and all of this kind of stuff. Jerry, before we go on, I'd like for you to watch with me a comment or two, several comments from Dutch Mantell. We got to listen to it. Here it is right now, Dutch Mantell.
You know, I'm sitting here right now, and I'm a real, real happy man because I done by myself what a whole slew of guys couldn't do, and that's beat Jerry Lawler. And I'm supposed to, I told Lance Russell, I said, Lance, I want to do an interview and tell the whole world about it. Well, he ran off. I told Randy Hale, I said, Hale, I want you to be there. I want to do an interview. He says, no, he took off too. You see, for a long time, Jarrett Promotions, they said they protected Jerry Lawler, and I didn't believe it, but I believe it now because Jerry Lawler is a very protected man in this area. Well, the protection is over Lawler because, no, when Lawler wants something done, he gets it done like this. When he wants a tape played, he gets it played. When he wants this, he gets everything he wants because he's the world's champion, but not for long. Because, Lawler, everybody knows you're trying to hide behind that belt, and you're a belt hog, and I know it, and the whole world knows it. And there was no doubt in my mind when I went in that ring that I would beat you. And you know why I beat you, Lawler? You know why I beat you? Because I wanted it more than you wanted. And I know it took you 14 years to get where you're at. Well, those 14 years I've been struggling too, and I want to get exactly where you are, and that's the world's heavyweight champion. So the next time I step in the ring with you, now I got one win over you, non-title match. Basically what that makes me, I'm the unproclaimed undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. And the next time, Lawler, I climb in the ring, it's going to be for the belt. Not one belt, but two belts, because they're unified now. And that's going to make me, like I said, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and I can't wait. So, Lawler, you strap it on tight, because the next time it's going to be the same story as this one, because I'm coming after you long, hard, and strong, and when it's all over with, I'm going to have those belts around my waist.
Be ready, because you know he's going to have that chain. He already said it'll be the same story.
That's right. And all I got to say, I'm going to make it real short and sweet, Dutch Mantell. You're right. I underestimated you last week. I wasn't thinking real clear, and I let you slip one over on me. But you said something that is exactly true, brother. I'm already here. I'm already the world heavyweight champion. I already have both these belts. Yeah, I'm a belt hog. You're right, brother. I got them, and I'm proud of them, and you're just wanting to get where I am. Well, I can promise you this. It's going to be a long, hard mountain to climb, because I understand now that you got the name Dirty, not by kissing babies, but by pulling stunts like you pulled last week. Well, when I get you in that ring this week, brother, I'm going to show you why they used to call me and why they still call me the King. I didn't get that name, brother, from getting pinned and being laid flat on my back when the match was over. I'm going to show you how I earned the reputation of the King and how I got both these belts. And that's by winning no matter what it takes, no matter how dirty it has to get, and no matter how deep in that trick bag I have to reach. One way or the other this week, Dutch Mantell, you're not only going to walk out without these two belts, but you're going to walk out busted, bleeding, beaten, and you're going to understand, like I said, why they call me the King and why I am the world heavyweight champion.
There he goes, the King, Jerry Lawler, and I'm looking forward to hearing about that bout when Dutch Mantell will be going in there challenging Lawler for the belts. Let's go to the ring. We've got a big tag action match coming up here, and the music indicates that not one of our favorite tag teams, but they've been awfully successful. You can't take that away from them. Coming in now, the Beauty and the Beast, Mark Gullen and Terrence Garvin, as they come strolling across the floor, candelabra and all. Beautifully placed upon our desk here, and we're ready to go up to the ring, get a little action. Referee Jerry Calhoun is already up there. Introducing on the far side of the ring, coming in at a total weight of 426 pounds, introducing David Johnson and Chris Frazier. Frazier and Johnson will be facing a team that wrestles out of the city of Pretty. Introducing the Beauty and the Beast, Terrence Garvin and Big Mark Gullen. There's Garvin right there, and that's Gullen arguing with the referee as Garvin goes around. Hey, let me remind you something. That spray can be used for something besides spraying. We've seen evidence of that in the past in seeing these guys wrestle in here. Okay, bell time. Here we go. Referee Jerry Calhoun says bring them on, and that's it. Chris Frazier starting out against Mark Gullen. This is kind of the pattern that we've seen every time they've been in there. Gullen starts out. He softens up the opposition as he is with Chris Frazier right now. And then when the time is right and there's no fear of being hurt, Terrence Garvin jumps in and can nail it. Ooh, what a power slam. Grabbing him off the ropes. Gullen, the beast, pounded him down hard. David Johnson on the outside, and Chris Frazier, who's taken a pounding thus far from Gullen. There's a tag on Johnson, and Gullen right away at David Johnson. Big upper arm puts him down on the mat. Don't want to indicate that Garvin himself cannot wrestle. He can. He'll fool you. He is one of those sneaky, quick kind of guys that you look at him prance around and you think there is no way. And moves like that where he rakes somebody down the back. And, well, he will fool you into thinking he can't wrestle, but he can, in fact. Goes in, crosses Johnson, picks him up, and body slams him center of the ring. Tag, Mark Gullen, and the beast comes in. He'll add a little mop-up, big foot to the midsection in there, and Johnson has not had a good offensive effort as yet. So thus far, the strategy of starting with the beast has worked in that they've been able to keep their opposition totally in tow. Look at Garvin. Comes off with a knee, and he flips David Johnson back over and down. And the beauty, Terrence Garvin, going hysterical. Bell time. Not one of the most inspiring matches we've ever seen, but that's kind of typical of the Beauty and the Beast. In 1 minute, 48 seconds, the Beauty and the Beast come out victorious over David Johnson. And wait,
doing today?
Will you get out of here? Now, don't start that stuff. Now, get away from me and get around in front of there. I'm not even going to talk to you.
I'm sorry, Glenn. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you're so excited.
Last week we came out here, and I tried to give Tracy Smothers a chance to be with us, but he turned his back on me for Jeff Jarrett.
Boy, that's the last time he'll turn his back. You beat him over the head with a picture frame and glass and everything else, cut his shoulder.
He hit me right on my head. Now, listen, I want to say something. You know, Jeff Jarrett, he not only is trying to act like me, he's got that long hair, he's wearing pink. I don't like it, Lance. And, you know, he smells like a goat. He not only looks like a sheepdog, but he smells like a goat. And the first chance I get, I'm not going to have my pink mat messed up anymore. First chance I get, I'm going to take care of that, Lance. I swear to you.
Yeah, you're going to take care of it. You better...
You saw what happened when Tracy Smothers and Jeff Jarrett got in the ring with us.
Yeah, they beat you for 14 minutes, and it went 14:47, and then you guys turn around.
Well, what difference does that make? Hey, that's just like a racehorse leading a 6-furlong race for 5 furlongs, because we came out the winners. And just like it's going to be from now on, Beauty and the Beast. Thank you, Lance. Thank you.
Hey, will you please take it out? We're going to take a break. Just get on out of here. I don't need this. What a bunch of battles coming up Wednesday night in Evansville Coliseum. Brother, I am telling you what. You're talking about Robert Fuller and Wildcat Wendell Cooley going to be going at each other. CWA heavyweight title match. We'll be talking to the champion in a moment. A back alley brawl. Beauty and the Beast, Jeff and Tracy. Jerry Lawler in a world title match against Dutch Mantell. Big night Wednesday night in there. And downtown Bruno. And big Sid Vicious going to be prominent right there.
Let me give you a list of names right here. Scott Steiner, Brian Lee, Todd Morton, Alan Reynolds, and Bill Dundee. You know what all those names have in common?
No, I do.
Those are all people that have been beaten and beaten bad by Sid Vicious. I guess Dundee's coming to town to become a 2-time loser. Well, see, this here is the CWA heavyweight title belt, and it belongs to the CWA heavyweight champion, Sid Vicious. So after Sylvia pulls all the clothes off of that ugly Candi Devine and shows everybody how nasty she really is, then Sid Vicious is going to walk into the ring and show everybody why he is the champion.
I'd just like to say one thing. Bill Dundee, he had one thing good going for him. That's his attitude, and that's your attitude. That's the only good thing that you got going for you, and I'm going to take that from you along with that stupid grin you got away from you in Evansville, boy. Liar to love it.
You understand that, Lance Russell?
Yeah, I
the man's a
understood it,
champion.
Bruno.
He's
What?
the biggest man Oh, wait a minute. I'm talking. It's time for you to shut up. It's the biggest man in professional wrestling today, Sid Vicious. And when a little short goof like Bill Dundee, who I've got a personal interest in, because Dundee, you're the guy to put my neck in a sling for 3 weeks, almost put me out of action.
Yeah, well...
But, brother, you're going to suffer that same kind of pain when Sid Vicious gets a hold of you, because it's like Mama says, boy, it bees that way sometimes.
You keep on saying that. It's going to be kind of embarrassing when that little so-and-so that you call him takes that belt away from the big champion. Hey, that's why they're going to have the match Wednesday night. Okay, we're about ready to go with the action here in just a moment. The opposition will be coming forth as one of the teams already in the ring. The wild-eyed Southern boys, Jeff Jarrett, coming to the ring. This is going to be a one-fall, 15-minute time limit bout. Introducing from parts unknown, coming in at 444, introducing the Medics. And across the way at a total weight of 438 pounds, introducing from Springfield, Tennessee, Tracy Smothers, the wild-eyed Southern boy, and his partner from Hendersonville, Tennessee, Jeff Jarrett. Bell time, and here we go with Tracy starting out against the medic number 1. He is the stockier but not the taller of the two of the medics. There's a tag on Jeff Jarrett, and Tracy and Jeff, who started wrestling about at the same time. Good double chop puts the medic down on the deck. Work very well together. They really have not been in the ring that much as tag team partners, but they have indeed, as when they started, worked together, and they still have that same magic. They're in and out of there very quick. We're going to be hearing from, whoa, double drop kick, and Tracy Smothers, 1, 2, 3. We're going to be hearing from Tracy and Jeff a little late. At the 42-second mark, in comes Beauty and the Beast, pounding away with that spray can on Tracy Smothers and Jeff Jarrett. The Beauty over there with a pair of handcuffs, trying to handcuff Tracy Smothers to the rope, while the Beast, who knocked Jarrett with that can, kicking away in his back, and they are beating and pounding away. Come on. As now Tracy handcuffed to the rope. Oh, the Beauty going over on Jeff and putting the handcuffs on. So they've got them both handcuffed to the rope. And now look at him with that spray can of that perfume garbage that he has in there. The Beauty spraying Jeff Jarrett and Tracy Smothers, and the Beast gets on stomping. Can we get somebody out here and give us a little help on this? For crying out loud, they got them both handcuffed to the ropes in there, and the Beauty and the Beast taking advantage of it. Here comes the King. Whoa, and there they go. Gullen and Garvin heading out of there, and it leaves Jeff and Tracy handcuffed to the ring rope. And we'll have to, there's Jeff with his hands hooked up to that rope, and we're going to have to get a key and all. While we are doing that, we were going to hear from Jeff and Tracy right after the match to answer the Beauty and the Beast, but I got a feeling they're going to let their talking be done in the ring and not out here. So we'll take time out where they're getting him loose from the handcuffs, and we're going to be back with more action on Championship Wrestling. Okay, take quick 60 to tell you the entire card coming up Wednesday night. I promise you it is going to be some kind of a scramble in there. Jimmy Golden opens up going against Brian Lee. Boy, that is an opener, and what a fine single that'll be. Scott Steiner takes on Big Phil Hickerson, who is back wrestling in the ring again. Robert Fuller and Wildcat Wendell Cooley will be going at it. Then a CWA heavyweight title match when Bill Dundee, and let me tell you, this might be the surprise of the night, will be in there against the giant Sid Vicious going for the CWA heavyweight title. Candi Devine, Sylvia, will be meeting in the back alley brawl. You remember that? That's where you go in with the clothes on and somebody comes out without them. Then it's going to be a return grudge match with the Beauty and the Beast facing Jeff Jarrett and Tracy Smothers. And finally, the big bout is going to be a world heavyweight title match when Jerry the King Lawler defends the title against Dirty Dutch Mantell. All of that one night, Wednesday in Evansville. Want to right now show you some action that took place in Nashville, Tennessee. It kind of irritates me when I think about it. I've seen it, but I'm going to share it with you. This happened with Randy Hales talking to Candi Devine in Nashville, Tennessee, and our Championship Wrestling action cameras were out there. Take a look.
Candi Devine.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, Randy. I'm very glad to be here tonight. And I'll tell you what, I'm really excited about being in these battle royals. And I'll tell you what, I hope to God me and Sylvia are the last two in there because I'm going to kick her butt. I'll tell you what. Hey, what's she doing here? I thought you came here to wrestle. What are you doing dressed up like a hooker? Make a little money on the side? God, that's what you look like. Look at this. Look at you. Look at you. She's so old she can eat an ear of corn through a picket fence. Look. Where's your sweet stuff? She didn't say to come hook it. He said to wrestle. Come on. Yeah, I'm ready.
Come on. Hey. What are you doing? We have problems here. Sylvia put her nose into Candi Devine's business, and Candi Devine is all over Miss Sylvia. Here's Robert Fuller. Robert Fuller is in here. Hey, what is she doing? Hey, we need Paul. Somebody get me some help. Paul. Hey, we need some help here quick. Hey, Paul, get me some help. This is disgusting. This is terrible. And Sylvia comes up here and rips her clothes off. Here comes Dundee, Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, well, it was like we said. We weren't too proud of showing that in there with what Fuller and Sylvia did in there in Nashville. But Candi Devine had some comments to make about what happened to her. Let's take a listen to Candi.
After the incident here in Nashville, Candi Devine came to me and asked for a match, so we wanted to get our cameras back here. Candi's asked for a back alley street brawl where she has a chance to do to Sylvia what happened to Candi tonight.
That's right, Sylvia, and this is directed just at you. I asked for this match because let me tell you one thing. You humiliated me. You ripped my clothes off in the ring. You and that so-called Robert. Well, let me tell you something. After I get you in this match, we'll see how humiliation feels when I rip your clothes off. And, honey, you'll have to leave town because you'll be the laughing stock of the town when you get your clothes ripped off. So I'll show you how humiliation feels, Sylvia. I hope you're ready.
That was Candi Devine's reaction, and the match has been signed. Now, of course, that isn't all of it. You might know that when his darling Sylvia is involved, Robert Fuller has got some comments to make about it.
You know, how can anything be so pretty and be so darn rugged and tough? I'm talking about Sylvia here, baby. This is the prettiest thing you're ever going to see come down the pike, and she's ready for a fight. Now, if you don't believe she's ready for a fight, the best thing for you to do, partner, is just go ask Candi Devine, because the girl knows, and she knows well, because that ugly body of yours, Candi Devine, has been laid out there for everybody to see. We stripped you down, and that must be plenty humiliating for a dog like you, darling. You just got one more opportunity at Sylvia, and I've told her, darling, strip you down again, because I like for these people to cut their differential, and there ain't no better way to do it than look at you, Candi Devine, and then look at the Georgia Peach. That's true differential. Now, Wendell Cooley, let me lay it on the line straight to you and make it quick, son. You lucked out with my cousin Jimmy Golden, but you don't get lucky with me. You either get tough and you get rugged and you become the best. You don't get lucky, son. I'm going to take you out. I'm going to bust your leg doing it, and I'm going to have one heck of a night. What about you, darling? It's going to be fine, ain't it?
We should bring puke bags for Candi Devine's body, you know, courtesy of the stable.
Yeah.
Well, less said the better, I guess. In the ring right now, we're about ready for our next match. A couple of big guys introducing first at 279 pounds, William the Frazier Thompson. And his his opponent at over 300 pounds. It's none of your business, USA. Sid Vicious, the CWA heavyweight champion, in a non-title bout.
Lancer, I've got some comments to make, and you're running your mouth over here, flapping your... Yeah. Now, Sid Vicious has got a big surprise for everybody in the CWA. Every wrestler, every man, woman, and child that's a part of the CWA has got a big surprise. It's right here in his money bag. You know what I'm talking about, Lancer? I ain't going to tell you what it is, but you might want to get in on it yourself, Lancer. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
You may want to, Lancer.
I'll keep my curiosity under wraps in
Well, I'm going to
here.
tell you what, Lance. You want to have an early Christmas, a late Christmas, some kind of Christmas? I'll tell you what, we got some money in here, brother.
It didn't take long.
No, and it ain't going to take long for somebody to come out and try to answer this, because there is a big surprise right here, Daddy.
Well, he did it in 33 seconds, and I'll tell you, that was no little guy that he was in there with. The Frazier, William Thompson, and Sid Vicious got him in 33 seconds. Okay, what's all this flapping the mouth here?
I want to say something to everybody back here. See, I haven't been taking anybody serious since I've been to the CWA area. Well, I got this belt. I said, boo, it's not worth nothing to me. Now I thought, well, it is worth one thing, and that's to get a shot at that world title that Jerry Lawler has.
That's it.
I said to myself, I could come out and make an interview today and say, Jerry Lawler, you are a heck of a wrestler. You paid your dues to get that world title shot. I could say that all that was true, but I'm not, because it's not true. You are exactly what you called yourself out here today, and that is a honk. I am the best athlete in this business today. Yeah. Shut up, you goof. Yeah. I can stand here and I can knock you all day, Lawler. One thing I won't ever call you, that's the king, because you're not a king. Now, I want to say something. I'm going to give everybody just a little bit of a chance out here to make $5,000 the easy way. But it's not that easy. Hold this, Bruno. Because you got to put this arm down, because I am the best arm wrestler in the world.
That's it, Daddy.
You want to check that? Come on.
See, wait a minute, Lancer.
No, I don't want any part of you. And I'll tell you, you make the challenge, and you're going to find some wrestlers that'll take it up in there.
I want to wrestle my arm against Jeff Jarrett's legs, Jerry Lawler's both of his legs, or anything that you want, boy.
Fine.
Happening.
Well, there's a $5,000 arm wrestling challenge from Sid Vicious to any of the other wrestlers. We'll take time. I'll be back with you in a moment. Well, okay, we're about ready to go with our big expiration of time match. Don Bass and the world heavyweight champion, Jerry the King Lawler. This, of course, is a non-title bout. It will be to the expiration of time of television, and Jerry has the belts with him, but they are not at stake. The referee is Jerry Calhoun, introducing from Greasy Corner, Arkansas, Big Don Bass. And across the way from Memphis, Tennessee at 234, the King, Jerry Lawler. Boy, he's decked out in red and green. He's got his Christmas colors on. He had his little Santa Claus hat on. And we're about ready to go. Boss Winters in the corner. The belts are not at stake. There we go. Jerry gave one of the belts to one of the fans to hold out there, and that's a big thrill for him to get a hold of that world heavyweight title. Oh, the belt only. Don Bass being warned by Jerry Calhoun about the use of the fist. When you get these two tough guys in there, I'll tell you, there will be a lot of warnings and a lot of fists. Top wrist lock, Don Bass on Lawler. Hanging in tight. This again is the expiration of time match. And we do have some time. Referee Jerry Calhoun trying to get Boss Winters down off the ring apron. He does, and Bass backs Lawler up into the corner. The referee calls for a break, and believe it or not, he got it. But boy, that's the only break that he got, because Bass got popped hard with that fist right out of the corner. Lawler stepped over and nailed him one. He knows what he's fighting in there. Greasy Corner, Arkansas. He told me he was the chief law enforcement officer. He's thinking about running for mayor. Lawler with his red and green Christmas attire on for this match. First time we've had Jerry wrestle on television in a long time since he won the belt. Lawler whipped across the ring, a little crisscross underway, and Lawler slips out behind Boss Winters. Whoa! He had it cocked and ready to fire, and Winters took off. Jerry was going to tap Boss Winters. Guy slips on the boss's hat. That looks good, Jerry. Now he takes it over and puts it on a fan in there, and you can see the boss in the background. Not feeling good. Back in the ring now. World Heavyweight Champion Jerry Lawler pops in there, and Don Bass circling around. You can see Bass has got that right hand cocked. They meet, tie it up. And Bass clobbers him one and takes one back from Lawler. Little exchange of right hands. First ball of action in our expiration of time match. That's Don Bass going against the King, Jerry Lawler. Bass been around. He has been all over the place. Well, he returned in kind exactly what was popped on him. I wouldn't, I've long since stopped arguing about Lawler using a fist. Boy, he'll use it on you in a minute. He normally saves it for guys like Bass, though. Although I can tell you for a fact that those titles were at stake, he would do anything that it would take to keep that title around his waist. Whoa, boy, I'm telling you, look at Bass. He ripped him, a third one. And referee Jerry Calhoun saying, come on, break it up. And Bass drills him about 5. Lawler pulls the strap down, comes out of the corner, drops down on Don Bass. 1. And with Boss Winters jumping in the ring, I believe we're going to have a disqualification. Bass holds Lawler, and Boss Winters slugs him upside the face. First ball of action in 4:14. The winner, Jerry Lawler, by disqualification. We'll take time out. Be back in just a moment. Wednesday's the day. You got your tickets yet? Son of a gun, I'm telling you, you're going to want to be there. We've got a big mouth coming up with the CWA heavyweight title on the line. Bill Dundee going against Sid Vicious, and man, is he cocky about this match, Bill.
Oh, I'm telling you, up till now, he's been picking all his opponents. No, I'm not selling you short, Sid Vicious, and I'm not knocking none of your opponents, but you handpicked them, brother. Brian Lee's starting to get in the wrestling business. Todd Morton just starting to get in the wrestling business. Well, you're looking at a face that's been around a long time, brother, and done wrestled them all from coast to coast. Well, I'm just going to tell you something, Bruno. I don't like you, punk, and Sid Vicious, I got to get that belt, because Jerry Lawler and Dutch Mantell, after that night's over, is going to have one that I want. It's about time Bill Dundee got out of the stall, brother, and back running for belts. Lawler, you got 2 belts, maybe 3. I don't have none. Sid Vicious, I'm taking yours, and I'm coming for you, Lawler.
That's one of the matches, and I think you see the kind of tempo that one's going to be. We're also looking at a return match in there that's going to have Jeff Jarrett, Tracy Smothers, going against the Beauty and the Beast. Jeff?
Well, you know, Lance, I said it from day one. Unless them guys are in a beauty parlor or doing some kind of aerobic tape or trying on fur coats, they're way out of their element. Well, this Wednesday night in Evansville, guys, you're going to be in a wrestling ring, and that's what these 2 guys are going to give you, a wrestling lesson, right, Chase?
You know, Mr. Russell, my grandpa once had an old saying. He said, Trace, sometimes one day you get the bear and one day the bear gets you. Well, you ain't no bear, it's Beauty and the Beast. I've been here 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks' time, I've been conked over the head with a picture glass frame. I've been jumped from behind, hit with a perfume sprayer, handcuffed to the ropes, and sprayed with some kind of goofy perfume. I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter. But I'm going to tell you this, guys. In Evansville, Indiana, Jeff and myself, you boys better be pumped up and ready, because you're not coming for no perfume session, no makeup session, or no jacuzzi whirlpool or whatever. You better be ready for a fight, boys, because that's exactly what we're going to be there for.
Beginning to end Wednesday night, that's what you're going to be seeing. Okay, in the ring, storming at the referee. The referee has already told him if he'd stay out of the ring, there wouldn't be any kind of problems in there. Boss Winters saying Jerry Lawler is going to pay for it. Let me tell you, Boss Winters may doing the paying, because there's Lawler back, and he doesn't have that smile on his face by a long shot. You can better believe that. He's saying, you want to come in the ring and get at it? Okay, bell time. We've got second fall of action going. Don Bass and Jerry Lawler.
You know full well if it wasn't for the injuries I suffered in Vietnam, I'd get in there and beat his brains out myself.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, Boss Winters, you're talking about him paying for it.
I'm not scared of that jerk.
Well, you better be. That's the only thing I could tell you.
You better watch Don Bass. The singing cowboy is the true champion, the real champion. Everybody go.
You already cost him one fall. You want to try for two? He lost the first one, 4-14 on disqualification, as Don Bass over there diddling around his tights. And, brother, you never know what this guy's going to pull out of him.
That's the way it is. He refused to check Jerry Lawler's tights. He absolutely refused to check the man's tights.
Yeah, well, go worry about your own man's tights, what he's got in them. Lawler talking with the referee about when Bass goes to those tights in there, look out. He has been known to have that little lead bar that he'd like holding a roll of dimes in his hand. He's one fall down in this expiration of time. We've got enough time. We may have 2 or 3 more bouts, falls coming up here. As Bass and Lawler near the rope. And Bass diddling, he won't go in there and tie it up with Lawler. The King, non-title bout.
There's your stinking champion and his stinking fans right with him. Look at the bloodthirsty liquor.
Well, if he would go ahead and let's get into some wrestling action. If Don, there goes Bass again. Down into the tights. Yeah, check my tights out now that I pulled it out. Referee telling Boss Winters he better get back to the corner before he loses another one. Don Bass backed up in the corner away from Lawler. They had really tied it up. Lawler taking a hard, long look, tie it up, and there we go. Lawler with the arm turns it over. Well, he's not going to get back even that way. And Lawler doesn't intend to let him get back even. He winded up Bass's arm. Uh-oh. While the referee's back was turned over where Boss Winters was, Bass went down in his tights, came up with whatever it is, and he glommed Lawler, put him down. Now Boss Winters interfering, choking away at Lawler, while the referee is arguing with Don Bass. And Lawler's trying to explain to him that Bass is letting him check him over. You can bet he's got it in his hand. That's exactly what it was. We're about 3 minutes into this fall of action, and Lawler one fall up, showing the referee where he ripped him with that bar or whatever it is that Bass has. We've still got plenty of time for this match, and we're in the second fall of action. Again, Lawler won the first fall. 4 minutes and 14 seconds on a disqualification. Earlier today, Beauty and the Beast with a win. Jeff Jarrett and Tracy Smothers with a win over the Medics. Sid Vicious with a really quick win. I got to tell you, I was impressed with Vicious when he picked up 279-pound William the Freezer Thompson and slammed him down. Vicious, in the event that you didn't hear that part of it, is now challenging any other wrestler in an arm wrestling match. $5,000 put up. He wants to show that he's totally dominant in the wrestling profession. Boy, he is a big one. And again, Bass. While they were doing a little test of strength, Bass slipped that right hand down in the tights, slammed him, and once again, Boss Winters choking away on Jerry Lawler. The only thing I can tell the boss is, you better look out when he comes running around. He just absolutely doesn't take that from anybody.
You just remember, you're one person around here I can beat, brother.
Yeah, well, that may be true, but there's a guy sitting in there in a green and red attire that you can't handle, and he's the one that's going to be looking for you, not me. Don Bass rips across the nose and the eyes on Lawler. And as Lawler coming up off the deck, Bass bombs him with that big right hand again. We passed the 5-minute mark in this fall, so this fall already has gone longer than the first fall when Winters got Bass disqualified by jumping up into the ring. Lawler slowly coming up to his feet, and Don Bass rips him across the eyes, slams him again with that right hand. And Don Bass trying to get even. Look at it! Rolls Lawler up. The referee over with Boss Winters isn't counting. Lawler definitely has him down. Plenty for the count. He slipped in behind and rolled him up. Count of one, and now Bass, of course, realizing the referee is over there, kicks him out, and now goes back to work on Lawler as he stomps across the head. Don Bass, Greasy Corner, Arkansas, with his manager, Boss Winters, slipping up behind Lawler again, and as he was going after Bass, Lawler was getting ready to get up. Winters slips in behind and chokes him again. That's the third time that Winters has been involved. You're the one going to have to pay, partner. I don't have any question about it. No fear. Lawler will take care of your act either today, by golly, or sometime. Don Bass coming back in this second fall as he jabs him in the eyes, rips the nose, and Lawler swings at him with a good solid right. Look at Bass going into the tights, keeping his back. And let me tell you, when his back is to you, he bombs Lawler again, puts him down, goes for a cover. Will he get the second fall? Two! And Lawler gets the left shoulder up just in time to avoid the 3 count. When Bass has got his back to you, you can't see anything. You wouldn't even see the sun at high noon. This guy is so broad. Yeah, I saw him. I also saw him nail him with something out of his tights, too. Don Bass put on the throat, pushing Lawler on a bottom rope, and the referee starts the disqualification. Bass finally lets it go. We're 7 minutes into the action, and Bass drops an elbow down. Woo! Big shot from the King. Stops him on the offensive effort. Look out! Wham! We saw Bass going to the tights again. And once again, he ripped Lawler with that right hand. Count of 1. Lawler got it up this time, got the shoulder up, broke it, and Bass is telling him. That's what Boss Winters was complaining about, the slow count from Jerry Calhoun, the referee, and Bass was just jumping on him again. Bass goes to the midsection with the right, slams Lawler's head into the top turnbuckle. And Calhoun trying to back him out of there as he has Lawler into the corner, mashing his head over the middle turnbuckle and putting all that weight on him. Bass has got about a 50-pound advantage on Lawler. Not quite, but almost. Once again, Bass goes to the tights and pounds Lawler with that right hand. Lawler falls over backward out of the ring. He has not been able to put Jerry out of it. And again, Boss Winters in kicking away on the King while the referee is arguing with Don Bass. Expiration of time match in its second fall. Lawler won the first fall by disqualification in 4:14. We're 9 minutes into the second fall, and Bass has dominated the action primarily. Foot in the back. Once again, Lawler underneath the ropes being kicked by Don Bass, and the referee finally backing up Bass. And look at Lawler. He caught Boss Winters, and as he goes after Winters, Bass grabs him from behind. He grabbed Lawler, and Winters got in one shot at him. Well, it's not all over with. Lawler has the only official win, and that was a disqualification in the first ball. Jerry banging his way back. Bass rakes him across the eyes, and Jerry Calhoun knocked off his feet as Lawler. Whoa! Boy, Lawler tagged him. Now he snaps him over the rope, and Boss Winters, who is over here saying, hey, I'm not afraid of him. Lawler pounds him. Lawler count, gets a cover. 1, 2, 3. He got a count. We'll give him the bell. It was on Boss Winters at 10 minutes and 24 seconds. Lawler got a pin on Winters, but the biggest thing, he ripped him around, and the referee, who was stunned and all, is saying, hey, Lawler's hand is up in the air. He got a 1, 2, 3, and Bass is saying, wait a minute, it wasn't me. Calhoun reacted and counted him out as the King walks away from the ring with 2 falls under his belt. We are going to take time out, and we're going to check our time, and we'll be back in just a moment. Oh, I thought you wanted to get even. I thought you were the one that wanted to get even in there.
Well, you're an idiot. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not an athlete. Jerry Lawler drags me across the rope, pins me. Where's the win in that? He didn't beat Don Bass.
Hey, if you'd have stayed away from the cotton picking ring, you wouldn't have gotten in trouble in there.
He was just advising me. He was jumping nowhere.
What do you mean? I saw him you were in there going into those tights, grabbing all that stuff. You guys start crying when somebody comes.
Grabbing nothing. What's wrong with you? It's just another episode. It's just another episode of Jerry the Jerk Lawler, the chief thief of Memphis, Tennessee. Oh yeah, you got thieves around here. You got apprentice thieves. You got Jeff the Jerk Jarrett. But you got the chief thief in Lawler, and that's just a prime example of how he steals his matches.
Let me just say something, and I think everybody agrees with it. You guys get out here and cry and moan when something happens to you. You don't. Hey, I don't see you back in the ring in there. He said you're not going back in the ring.
We are not getting back in that ring until we get a referee, jerks him in the ring. That goofy referee counts him out. He pinned me in the first place, and then he gives Lawler the match, and Lawler runs off. Where's he at? Why ain't he out here, son?
Well,
that's right.
All I know is that you guys make all the moaning and groaning when something happens to you, and then you turn around and go in there. Hey, listen, I'm sitting here watching this guy choking him and all.
Lying, everybody knows it. You see the world. You see the world through Jerry Lawler colored glasses. That's your problem.
Well, maybe if you took those goofy-looking glasses off, you wouldn't. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing about it. I don't cry about it all the time like you do. Okay, fine. Well, just go on. Get out. We don't care whether you wrestle or not. You end up losing the match, and that's the way it ended up. It was a 2-fall situation. Lawler wins 1 by disqualification in 4 minutes and 14 seconds, and he wins the second one on a 10-minute and 24-second pin. Hey, I say it was legal. If Winters wants to get involved and involve himself in there, then it was a handicap match, 2-on-1. So he just, pin one in the second one and take the disqualification in the first. He wins it. The referee said it, 2 falls, and so that makes Lawler the winner of it in that particular match. That is a part of it, my friend. We had others. Sid Vicious came in, and I got to tell you, he made very short work of William Thompson, and that's not easy to do. He picked the big guy up 279 pounds of him and slammed him just like there was nothing to it. And then he challenged every wrestler around. If they want to find out how strong he is, he put up $5,000 for an arm wrestling against any other wrestler. And so he is now on his way trying to get that world heavyweight title match. We had a tag match with Jeff Jarrett and Tracy Smothers against the Medics. We were supposed to talk to Tracy and Jeff after that particular one to let them have a chance to answer the Beauty and the Beast, but I expect they'll do their talking in the ring. They defeated the Medics in short order, and the Beauty and the Beast came out in the opening bout against David Johnson and Chris Frazier, and it was too much Beauty and the Beast as the Beast softened him up and then made the tag on the Beauty, Terrence Garvin, to let him come in and do the mop-up work. That was the action today. We've got plenty more of it coming up next week. Dave will be back with us again next week, and we're looking forward to that, as we always are looking forward to the action of Championship Wrestling. We